Hey my loves, what's up and welcome back to the Trend Diaries. You're listening to Nidhi, and in today's video I'll be creating a soft brown smoky eye look. I hope you guys really enjoyed this short tutorial. So starting off, for my primer I used the Wet n Wild Dewy primer and applied 4 to 5 dots all over my face and blended it in. So this primer would prime as well as add that luminous glow to your base. So that's it for the primer. After that I just filled in the sparse gaps of my brows using the brow shaper from Sugar. It is one of the new launch. So I just used the pencil side of this brow shaper to fill in the sparse gaps of my brow and brush the product through my brows, and that's it. Later for my foundation I'm using the Ace of Face foundation from Sugar Cosmetics and applied some stripes all over my face, and to blend it I'm using the Colorbar blend etude sponge. So I just wet the sponge, removed excess of water so that it's nice and damp, and it does grow in size. So that was a good thing. It is soft and squishy, I would give it that, and it blends the foundation well. The thing what I noticed with this sponge was that to blend stick foundations it was a bit of task. With this sponge I had to like literally drag instead of bounce the blender, but it did blend like liquid products well, like this concealer. So I used the Wet n Wild Fort Focus concealer to conceal under my eyes, like to conceal the dark circles, the bridge of my nose, forehead, cupid's bow and chin. So to blend this I used the same sponge again, but blending the liquid concealer was way easier than blending the foundation. That's what I noticed with this sponge, but sadly I had to throw away this sponge as it did get attacked by fungus. If you're not following me on Instagram then you might not be knowing about this, but I had to throw some of my sponges because there was fungal growth on them. My bad. So this too went in that. Anyways, it's overall a good sponge, affordable one. It's a good sponge, yes. So next I just set the face where I've applied the concealer with some Fit Me Loose powder, and I just brush the powder which was like excess all over my face. And then for bronzing I use the Wet n Wild contouring palette. I use the bronzing side in the hollows of my cheekbone up to my temples so that the face gets a nice uplifted look. On the perimeters of my face, the jawline, do not forget your double chin area because we don't want that double chin existing, right? So once that is done I just use little bit of it around my nose as well to just add a little bit of structure. That's it. For my blush I'm using this mini blush from Sugar, and this is a beautiful pink shade, and I applied it on my apples of the cheek, blending it into my bronzer. And then for my eyeshadow I'm using the Desert Dusk palette from Huda Beauty, and I use that brown shade with a fluffy brush and I applied it all over my lids. So firstly, as you can see in the clip, I am just packing the shade all over my lid. We would blend it later. So first pack the shade, and then when you are happy with the intensity of the shadow then start to blend the edges. So for blending the edges just use small circular motions. Next up I used a burnt orange kind of shade around the edges of the previously laid shade. So just placing the burnt orange shade over the brown shade, like in 50-50 ratio you have to just place the two shades so that you get a nice blend, and then use circular motions and windshield wiper motions on the area where you've placed the shadow, and then you can just blend it out. So when you're placing the shadows in 50-50 ratio, like 50 on your lid zone and 50 on the previously laid shadow, then you would get a nice smooth blend. So once that is done I just re-intensified the brown shade on my crease. So I just went back and forth with the dark brown and the burnt orange shade to get a nice gradient, you know. So you just have to go back and forth with the shades and also use a clean fluffy blending brush in between, like I'm using here to blend the excess edges, and do not go way up to your eyebrow, remember that, or else it would not look that great. So once I'm done with that, I use the same out shade on the outer third of my lower lash line with a pencil brush. So I'm just focusing the darker shade on the outer third and blending the darker shade with the burnt orange shade with a bigger, fluffier brush. So I basically like my smoky eyes to be a lot smoky, and it goes up to the temples. But if you do not like that kind of smoked out looks, you can clean it with some makeup remover, but I liked it nice and smoked. And for my lipstick, I use the Rimmel Stay Matte liquid lipstick. I absolutely love this shade. It looks stunning even on my bare skin. It's like my current go-to shade. You must definitely check it out. Coated my lashes with some mascara from Sugar. And by the way, all the products and details I have mentioned in the description box. You can check them out, because you know, in a short video it's very difficult to call out each and every shade. Next, I applied some falsies. I'm using the Pac Tapered lash in the style 213, and with the Pac lash glue, I just tried to fix my lashes in place. I'm still not great at it, but I try my best to do so. Apply the glue, wiggle it for 10 to 20 seconds, and then place it from your inner corner to the outer corner. That's it. Then lastly, to set my face, I use the Pac Micro Finish setting spray, and then for my highlighter, I use the K Beauty illuminating highlighter. So this makeup look was done for the review video of the K Beauty highlighter, so I've applied all the shades on my face possible. But these are beautiful highlighters. They are very shimmery and glowy, so if you like that kind of highlighters, you would love them. It gives a nice glow. So I applied it on the tops of my cheekbones, bridge of the nose, inner corner, brow bone, my collarbone, chin, cupid's bow. I applied it everywhere and drenched myself in highlighters that day. And that's it. That's the soft brown smoky eye look. I hope you guys really enjoyed this video. If you did, then hit that like button. And I'll meet you guys soon in my next video. All the products are listed in the description box. Just in case you want to know any of the shade names, everything is mentioned there. You can check that out. I'll meet you in my next one. Till then, take care, namaste, and keep trending.